Alright guys, welcome back. My name's Q. We're going to go through and with this video kind of wrap up the settings for all the things where we talked about the features, and then I'll probably have a couple more follow-up videos giving tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. As far as how we break those down, I'll figure them out as we go along, but I just wanted to go through and kind of finish off the video series with the features here. Again, this is purely kind of, for the most part, pretty much optional here. We'll talk about a little bit of everything, but yeah, let's just kind of get into it. So we have the models and the mini list. My setup here is different from default, so keep that in mind. If you've not touched this and you've downloaded all the things, your setup's probably different. As you can see, I've gone through and removed a lot of the automatic opening of the any of the lists. Reason for that is I move around quite a bit, especially while on stream. And so as we go through and we do this, we're always into a new zone, or we're traveling into a dungeon, and sometimes I just don't need that list up. Typically I use the main list, and then I kind of macro that into a key binding and go from there. So this is all, like I said, very preferential, but I guess the first thing is you can automatically skip the cutscenes. I use, what is that, DBM I think it is, that does that automatically for me anyway, so I have that taken care of. As far as automatically opening the bounty list, I very rarely use the bounty list myself. We'll talk in greater detail about the bounty list later on, but as far as automatically opening the main list, again, I typically don't. If I want to go through and see it, I'll pull it up with the command, but for the sake of simplicity, if you wanted to just have that there, nothing wrong with it. I think as default though, if they still do it this way, whenever you first download the add-on, the mini list automatically pops up. Some people like that, some people don't. I fell into the category where I just didn't care for it that much. Plus, again, as I go through and I do whatever I do within the video game, I tend to like to look at the main list. So one big thing though is this one right here, the automatically open the profession list. The reason this one is as important as it is that it's pretty much the best way to have all the things go through and update anytime you gain a new recipe. Whatever the limitations are, I'm not as well versed as on the technical side of that as far as the requirements go. However, most have found, if not everyone's more or less found, that going through and having the what do you call it, the all the things list pop up with your professions. So I'll go ahead and put a picture here. So if we pull up alchemy, if I go through and I get one of these recipes, at that point in time it's automatically entered and added to the counter and everything else like that. As you can see, there's a lot of recipe stuff that I tend to be missing here, so eventually we'll go through, we'll get it, but that little box is what this is. So that's, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense there. If we go back to this, so that is your profession list. Some people keep it, some people don't. Again, purely preferential, but if you want all the things to automatically update whenever you learn a recipe, learn the recipe, open up your professions tab, and then it'll work out. As far as the automatic raid assist, so whenever you go into a dungeon, all the everything from that raid assist will pop up. The call for that is ATTRA. So if we go through, we pull that up. I'm not in an instance right now, so this isn't really going to be too exciting. But there's a little bit of a feature where you can go through and automatically reset the instance as you are maybe farming a 5-man for some sort of transmog or mount or whatever the case may be. That is there as an option. It's just sometimes for some it's just quicker to click on that than typing out reset. Purely preference. Let's see, going back to the settings once again. As far as the world quest list, for me personally, as I'm going through from one zone to another, I'd rather not see the list. But again, having everything listed out does have its advantages. So just another option. The last one is show the auction house module tab. This doesn't work very well with a lot of other add-ons. So if you have a good bit of add-ons, especially those that interact with the auction house a good bit. You may not see this tab pop up. I don't believe I do. I'm not sure which add-on's interfering with it. But yeah, everything I have is just buy, sell, auction, and then TSM, of course. So that being said, I usually don't see it. Maybe I'll go through and figure out which add-on's interacting with it. It's not a bad way to use all the things as a means of searching for the individual items that you don't have. However, the way the new auction house is set up at this point in time, you know, if there was something that we didn't have, we could go through and search for it this way at this point. So just go into your filter, select uncollected only, and then, you know, select which category you're interested in, such as weapons, search, and it'll pull up stuff like this. So that's an option there. This isn't bug free and it's not perfect, but it's for the speed that it is, it's not a bad option. Let's see, as far as that goes, I think that covers our mini list. So celebrations and sound effects. For me personally, I would highly recommend having this on. There is a little bit of excitement whenever you hear some sort of chime for collecting something new. It seems silly, it's worthwhile. It's just, again, personal preference, but I highly recommend it. I tend to use the master audio channel because throughout my gameplay, usually if I'm streaming, you know, I don't want to have that sound overbearing too much, or the sound settings overbearing too much. So if I go into sound here, all I've done is enabled sound, so everything else within the game is more or less turned off. So whenever I'm running through and I'm you know, I come across some sort of drop or I learn something, I can hear that chime play. But the chime itself and the settings for it and the option to turn it on or off is within the features tab, just as a heads up. So as a whole, I hope this little video series has helped you out a little bit. I know it's long. I've wanted to, as much as I can, break it down into bit by bit, rather than having like a 2-hour long video and having people try to sift through a sea of non-essential information trying to get what they want. If there's anything else I can present with this that would help out, feel free to let me know. There's the comments, there's the Twitch side of things, there's the Discord, there's the Twitter, there's all, you know, just let me know. Outside of that, we'll probably go through and cover a couple more little things that I've found personally beneficial, tips, tricks, stuff like that. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see what else we can hammer out. So with that, guys, thank you very much for the support. I will see you pretty soon. All right, guys, y'all take care.